All right. Welcome to the Music and Madness Live Monday podcast. I'm your host tonight, Tom Owen. I'm here with Richard Paul. Richard Paul is a project manager, a director, an actor, a writer, a comedian. Anything else I missed?
I work at your local Piggly Wiggly.
You work as the local Piggly Wiggly.
Yes.
Is that your full-time position?
I can make it my full-time position whenever I want. No one wants to work there putting the carts away, but I enjoy it.
You enjoy it?
Yes. I take tips.
Somebody has to do it.
Somebody has to do it.
That's right. So, yeah, that's we're going to get into your we're going to get into your projects and your jobs and all those kind of things here in just a minute. We're waiting for Derek Hadley. Derek Hadley is with the Motowners. The Motowners are playing tomorrow night and tomorrow afternoon at the Savannah Center. Shows at 4 o'clock and shows at 7 o'clock. And Derek's going to give us a call and let us know what the people can expect to see tomorrow night at those shows. But so while we're waiting for those, so you reside in Orlando.
Yeah. Orlando, Florida, just a neighbor away from you guys.
Just a neighbor away from the Villages. And you're spending a little bit of time now up here in the Villages.
Because there's a lot of great opportunities happening for the Villages with all of the work that you've been bringing in from, the live concerts and now live comedy shows.
Yeah, the Villages is just this big mecca of 170,000 great people, and they need to be entertained or like to be entertained just like anybody anywhere. And, we're bringing some comedy in and bringing some music acts in. And, of course, on our show, we showcase a lot of those musical acts that play on the squares. They play in the theaters. They play in the Savannah Center and the Sharon. And hopefully we're going to do more of that with comedian-type stuff, sketch comedy, improv.
Yeah.
And so before we get into this, one of the questions I'm going to ask you, and it's probably a long answer, hopefully it's not a real long answer, is I want to know the difference between improv and sketch comedy.
And
I know it's a fine line there.
Well, it can be a fine line. The biggest difference is $600.
$600.
Yes. In stand-up, you can get paid $600. In improv, you can owe $600.
Is that right? Okay,
yeah. Okay, so improv is the act of making things up without a script, right? So you can do stand-up without a script. You can do a play without a script. You can do a monologue without a script. And you're just extemporizing based on what the audience is giving you, based on what you're giving them. Stand-up, it really is the true art of being an orator, right? You're writing and you're crafting and you're cultivating the perfect joke. But both need each other. They both need each other.
Yeah, because you got to be spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
And improv allows for that to be more of a situation, right?
Yeah, not just spontaneous, but like improv helps remind you to be present to the next person. So every little blink they do, every little move they make, you're in response to that. And stand-up, a lot of stand-up comedians take improv classes to develop that intuition, those instincts, where a lot of improv actors go, wow, we really need the structure stand-up pulls.
All right, we got Derek coming in here, I think, on this call, so we're going to... Derek.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Tom Owen here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Tom.
Fantastic. All right, for our listeners here, I've got Derek Hadley on the line, and Derek is with the Motowners. Derek, you are the founder of the Motowners, is that correct?
Yes, the founder and the producer, and the man who actually started the group almost 25 years ago.
Fantastic. And you're coming to play tomorrow at 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock at the Savannah Center, correct?
Yes, we have two shows.
And you've been there, I think you told me, like 5 times already, so the people know who you are. And tomorrow night, they're probably going to see a different show than they've seen the last time, but yet again, still a great show.
Absolutely.
So give us a little bit of, just give us a little hint to what people can expect tomorrow.
It's a 90-minute show. There's a lot of material to go through in 90 minutes, but when you're doing a Motown show of this caliber with that target audience, when I say that target audience, Berry Gordy just turned 96 years old on November 28th. God bless him. Smokey Robinson is 85. Otis Williams, the original founder of the Temptation, he's also 85. Actually, he's 83. And Dinah Ross, they're in their 80s. So when you're performing this style of music for the baby boomers, you want to go with songs that they're going to know. You want to go with groups that they're going to know. So the Four Tops, the Temptations, Smokey Robinson, Martha and the Vandellas, we hit on all of that material in 90 minutes, and we do it very quickly. But what tops it off is all of the costume changes. That's actually a wow factor. And the fact that I just did what I just did in about the last 30 seconds is I kind of gave you a little history of the age to people. So I touch on the history of the music. And a lot of people love the timeline of some of the history. Like, for example, the Supremes had 12 number one Billboard hits. No other female group has accomplished that since the Supremes. A lot of people don't know that. So as I'm going through the timeline and performing the music, I'm also talking about the history of the music.
Well, and it's fantastic that you can recreate what those legends have done because, of course, by their age and so forth, they're not able to do that anymore. But, man, the music lives on. People just love that music, and it's phenomenal that you can recreate that to, give them a great taste of history.
Yes, absolutely.
So you've been doing this for like 25 years. What made you decide to get into this?
I'm going to be very honest with you. When I saw the movie, I can actually remember it was November 1999, and I'm 56, be 57. So 1999, I was in my mid-20s, and I saw the movie The Temptations. And when I saw that movie, in the history of what Otis Williams did and Berry Gordy, and it touched me. I said, well, this is music that needs to live on forever.
Right.
So I said, let me do a style of music that's going to be timeless, right? And I actually talk about it in my show. In my mid-20s, I was doing a lot of top 40 music and a lot of bars, right?
Yep.
So when you're doing top 40 and you're doing bars, you don't start your first set until 9 o'clock, 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock. You're done at 4 o'clock. I mean, you're done at 3 o'clock, maybe sometimes 3 a.m. in the morning at the latest. But the bottom line, you're not starting your first set until 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you're not out of there till, the wee hours of the morning.
Right.
So I said, what style of music that I can do where I can be done by 10 o'clock? I said, you know what? That's the older generation. They like to be in bed by 10 o'clock. It's every time I say this story on stage, everybody starts laughing because if you look at the show that I'm doing tomorrow in the Villages, who does a show at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday, turn around, does a 7 o'clock show, and you're done by 9 o'clock? Your generation, the baby boomers.
Exactly. And
that's the greatest deal. You can't get any better than that. Okay. So for the last 25, 30 years, I got rid of the bar scene, and I said, this is going to, not only because I have the love for the music, but because it ties into my lifestyle. Number one, I'm married. I don't want to be out late every night. I don't want to be out late on a Saturday night. So my target audience is the older baby boomer generation, and not just the age. It's the theaters. My show is not a bar band type of, we're just not just a bar band. We are a Broadway style production with very, very high, very high end clothing, wardrobe, and so there's a value of what I bring. So bringing that to a theater and putting it in a theater Broadway style show, and I'm done in a couple of hours. You can't get any better than that.
Well, and people that you're, like I said, you're playing to a generation who grew up on that music, and again, for them to be able to see that without staying out till 2 o'clock in the morning is also a big win for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
if you're going to be playing that at a bar 10, 11 o'clock at night, most of these people they've already watched the news or in bed by that time. Absolutely.
That is absolutely correct. So that's what inspired me was those two instances: watching the movie The Temptations, and the fact that I was really getting burnt out working in bars and in clubs till to the wee hours of the morning.
Well, I would think this is a lot more rewarding than working in the bar.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, I don't forget. You don't forget where you come from, Tom.
Yep.
Every major singer, whether they're from New York, Chicago, Philly, L.A., they'll tell you of some of the most hideous places where they might have started out playing, but that bar owner, you got good at those little places, right? Meaning that if you're going to be in the entertainment business and think that you're going to just part the sky and become a rich, successful person right away, your head is in the sand and you're very delusional. You have to have a passion for the art, and that's what I bring. Every one of us, we're hardworking. People see that we have a passion to deliver the product, and then the money comes. Okay, if you think you're just going to just walk out here and it just happens right away, it doesn't happen right away. So I paid my dues. I did a lot of 55 and older communities where I didn't make a lot of money, but I got really good at my product. And I used to tell the people that used to work with us, I said, listen, don't quit your day job. If you're looking to make this a career, you've got to have something to sustain yourself in between. But when you are doing it, don't say, well, I'm only going to give 100 or 120% if the money is X amount of dollars, or if it's not X amount of dollars, I'm not going to give it your all. The person that's sitting in that seat that paid, let's say, maybe they paid $30, $50, $60, $70, $80. It doesn't matter how much they paid for the ticket. They're expecting to see a good show.
They're expecting. So they're expecting to see you at your best.
They expect to see you at your best.
Yep.
So they don't know what the back end story is, right? So don't play around with it. If you're not going to be serious about giving a stellar performance, then at that point, just don't suit up. Don't get in front of the microphone. So that's why my group is the number 2 to 3 Motown tribute act in the United States and number 1 in Florida, because I do anywhere from 70 to 90 high-end theater jobs per year. But I didn't start out doing that. I started out in those little communities and bars and 25, 30 years ago. So I paid my dues. So now that I'm in my mid-50s, I can actually move to the villages. I mean, I'm old enough to move there. I'm not as old as most of the people that are there, but I understand their mindset of a good show.
Yep.
So that's why I do well, because they know that I'm the real deal. That when I come in, we're going to give you good vocals. We're going to tell you about the history. We're going to have good musicianship. So it's not just the front line. My musicians. Let me just talk about the musicians. They're all jazz musicians. They do not play with tracks. They play live. Why it's very important to mention that? Because some bands, they come in what I call canned music. Canned music is where you're playing instrumental music and the band is playing over that music.
Yeah.
Okay? You can trick some people, but you can't really trick your generation. So if you're gonna present it, that's not what Motown did not play with canned music. They had real musicians. So I take it are you from Michigan?
I'm from Michigan originally, yes, sir.
Okay, so you know for a fact, if you know the history of the Funk Brothers, was the original session musicians that played for Motown.
Right.
So if you're going to do a Motown show, bring that authenticity. So that's what you're going to hear every time you come to a Motown show. I got the best drummers, the best guitar players, the best, it's a 5-piece, old school rhythm section. Sometimes there's a horn player, sometimes there's not. But they keep keep it in the pocket and keep it very authentic.
Well, that sounds awesome. And, man, you're an extremely busy guy. I really, really appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on the podcast here and tell us about what the people are going to see. I'm hoping to come to the show tomorrow afternoon and love to take and see you guys. It'd be my first time to see you. But I looked at some of your stuff online. Well worth the money for sure to come see that show. So.
Well, thanks for having us. Yes, we've been there. Matter of fact, we did our first show right around COVID, and I just got to tell you the backstory of how that happened. During COVID, there was a big shutdown, and the band that was supposed to play that particular night, they had airline ticket issues and COVID issues. And they found out about us, and they said, "Well, we don't want to cancel the Motown show, so we're gonna bring in a band." They were a little leery. They had no clue if we were gonna do good, lay an egg, get booed off. They didn't know. So they made an announcement. They said, "Listen, the original band that was supposed to be here tonight is not here, but we have the Motowners," and they just went with it. So when it all said and done, we knocked it out the ballpark. And we've been back to the Villages ever since, right after COVID. That's how we got there.
That's awesome.
Because the other band could not make it. But that just goes on to show you that I am always ready for an opportunity. So when the opportunity is going to present itself, we're going to get on stage and we're going to hit it out the ballpark.
Well,
I mean, there might be little things that people may criticize, but in that 90-minute show, you can't really beat me at presenting a Motown show at my level, because I just been doing it for a long time. So you get good at it with repetition.
Again,
and we appreciate the Villages inviting us back every year. We really do.
Villages is a great place to be. I moved here when I was 57, about 6 years ago. So come on up, move in.
There you go. I noticed. What's up with all the golf carts? Does everybody there play golf?
Not everybody plays golf, but there's a couple 100 miles of golf cart paths here. So you can get anywhere in the Villages in a golf cart. So
okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, you can get from one end to the other, but you better pack a lunch if you're going from one end to the other, because this place is getting pretty big. But
yes, absolutely.
Well, Derek,
I got a couple of comp tickets for you and the guests, so we'll talk and you let me know. And again, thank you for having me on the podcast, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, anybody listening to Derek, this guy's got the real deal. And there's not a lot of seats left. There's not a lot of seats left for either show. So if you want to take and see a great Motown show, come see the Motowners tomorrow at 4 or 7 at the Savannah Center. And Derek's going to put on a great show for you. So I appreciate it. You guys drive safe. Get here safely, and we'll see you tomorrow.
I appreciate it. And last but not least, for those that cannot make it, and if you can't make it for some reason, I'm going to be at the Jacksonville Performing Arts Center on December 21st. I'm going to be at the Sarasota Opera House this coming Friday, and then I'm going to be at the Palladium in St. Petersburg on Monday. So as you very well see, that after I do your venue, I'm in some major other performing arts centers. So that's to say a lot about the group. So you can catch us on we have a Facebook, and you can also go on our website, which is themotowners.com. Okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Got it.
See you. Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. And we're back. Richard Paul, I don't know if he might have passed out on us here. Richard, are you all right? Do you? Okay, so I'm by myself here on a Monday Night Live show. So apparently, I bet you Richard might have been out drinking late last night. I'm not sure. We'll have to. Should I wake him up? Yeah. Okay, the camera is not on my guest right now. He's actually sleeping. I'm hoping it's not a medical issue. He's fine. Yes, the guy works day and night. He just doesn't know which is day and which is night. Let's cut the camera to Richard, and let's see if anybody wants to send a message in or call whether I should wake Richard up or not. This could only happen on a live show. So, Richard, we're live.
Yeah.
We're live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Tom, I think Richard's back with us.
I'm back.
Richard's back.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here.
Were you dreaming?
Yes, I was.
A deep REM sleep?
You know, I've been going at it for miles and hours. I've been running from one project to the next, and it finally caught up on this show.
I got to tell you, anybody, if you could sleep through me rambling on the phone with somebody, you can sleep through anything.
Well, it was really cool. What I liked about that last interview was it's really true. It's really true. Is people know what they like, and you got to give it to them.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So people like to see people sleeping, so here it is. It was perfect. They got a twofer.
Yeah.
They got a twofer.
Yeah. Now, needless to say, I am embarrassed, but I've been taught how to cover it.
How to get through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. In case anybody forgot with this, Richard Paul is a project manager, a director, a writer, an actor. You shoot films. Let's start at the back end of this thing. What do you do in films? What have you done?
Yeah, in TV and film, I've worked as principal talent for television shows and for commercials. And
give us a show that somebody would recognize, or a commercial somebody would recognize.
Well, there's a movie that people might recognize me in. It's called Geostorm.
Geostorm?
Yeah.
Okay.
It came out a couple of years ago and stars Gerard Butler, and I was featured in that movie. I was sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. I was in the movie. My character dies. Mysterious death, and it launches the entire movie.
Oh, so you were in the beginning.
Yes, with the big infamous death scene.
How did you die in the movie?
Well, you'll have to watch.
You got to watch it.
No spoilers.
Okay, all right. So Richard dies. What, a few minutes into the movie? 10 minutes into the movie?
Something like that. And I can remember with my family and friends, they were all at the movie theater watching it with me, and I heard somewhere in the theater say, "Is that it?"
Did they get up and leave after that?
No. We watched the rest of the movie, and they were all just beaming happy and excited.
So what's a commercial that somebody would recognize that you've been in?
I don't know.
Or just local commercial type stuff? Or
no, there were a couple of national commercials in there, but it's been a little bit. That I was prominently featured in a big MasterCard commercial. It was one of their last priceless campaigns.
Okay.
So acting as a golfer, went to Sawgrass Mills, and got to play golf with Tom Watson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Amazing. He's amazing.
And are you a golfer, or was it?
No.
Okay.
No. I left most of the golfing to the real pros.
Yeah.
It was on the shoot was Camilo Villegas and Ian Poulter and Tom Watson, and it was really great. At one point, all of the golfers, they stopped production and they said, "Hey, we're here on the 18th green, and we're here on the 17th green. Why aren't we? Let's play." Let's play some golf. And so they all pulled out $800 out of their pockets and put it in a little pot to see who can get the closest to the 17th green, where the island green. So to pitch the ball up and to land it closest to the pin.
Yeah.
And they're all having a good time. And then they let a couple of us play in, which was really cool. None of us got it. I didn't get it closest to the pin. Mine just like hit and then rolled off into the water. But Tom, he walked up along the berm, and everyone's like, "Hey, no, you're supposed to be pitching it, hitting it from here." He walks up the berm, pitches it, so it's not quite a steep angle, and then lands it closer to the pin. And he was like, "And that's how you do it. That's how you do it, young bucks."
And took your $800.
Yeah. Well, theirs. They took theirs, but it was really cool to see like
what the
these
pros
legends.
do.
Yeah, these pros. Yeah. Really great to see it, and just seeing the, no matter how many times they play, just being able to put their hands on a pitching wedge, or it's just the thrill of being able to be there.
Yep. And they get that way by being obsessed about it, focusing on it, and have a goal in mind, and that's how they get there.
Well, and the weather was amazing that day. Like 50s, clear, and when you're seeing the very light breeze and you're on the 18th green and you're like 475 yards away from the clubhouse and it looks purple. That's how far away. It's like you think you're looking at the Grand Canyon, those are memories that I'll never forget.
So let's rewind back to the beginning of this.
I was sleeping.
You were sleeping, yeah? Okay, we'll get past that. We'll get ahead of that. What made you? So you started out in comedy.
Yes.
What made you decide? Were you like the class cut up or the class clown or?
So, only boy. I have 4 sisters, 2 older, 2 younger, and I'd always, had, I guess, an imagination. But growing up in school, I was quiet in class. Just a very quiet, nice kid. Did what was told, but not the best at academics. Just a nice guy. And then it wasn't until middle school that I was introduced to this idea that you could say something in front of a group of people and you'd get rewarded for it. And that was dressing up as a clown.
See, there you go, class clown.
Well, literally,
yeah.
In 7th grade, worked with a math teacher. His name was Harvey Smurlson, and he was a Shriner clown. And he started this program where teenagers can actually give back to the community by doing hours as clowns at walk-arounds, at hospitals, at parades.
Like a junior clown, like a clown trainee or a clown apprentice.
Well, he trained 30 of us. All through this little education grant. And, we weren't the best students. And so how do you get us more engaged into school? And so his theory was if you have them focus on something that's bigger than them, right? If people are working on projects where they're giving back or they're working on something that's bigger than just themselves. So in the program, you learned how to clown, dressing up and all of that, and then we went and we did parades, and then especially walk-arounds, where a walk-around is where you go to a hospital and you visit people from room to room to brighten people up, and that's what we did.
Okay, and then from there you kind of thought you get rewarded for that as people laugh and
rewarded because people laugh, they're happy, and you start to go, wow, this feels good. That kind of attention feels good, and then. In the following year,
you forget about your lousy grades, right? When that's going on,
lousy grades, you forget about them for just a moment.
Yeah,
it feels good, and but it wasn't until the 8th grade I ended up in a show, and I didn't mean to be. It was a free period, and I was acting as a teacher assistant, and which meant my grades had turned around, and I was asked to help the local drama teacher by coming in by doing a play. It was called Cinderella Wore Combat Boots.
Comedy.
Yeah. And from there, I only had one line, and then the night before, the lady who had 40% of the lines, the fairy godmother and the narrator, she got expelled for fighting. So she gets expelled. Mr. Rivet, who looked like a very frustrated young Warren Beatty, runs up to me, takes the book and the script, and just throws it at my chest. He was that kind of guy, and he was like, "You got the part." and so we took a podium, a huge dictionary, and I put the script and sandwiched it in between that and pretended to read from the book as the narrator. And that is when I did a lot of improv. I didn't know it was improv because how could you memorize a script the next night?
Yeah.
But somehow we pulled up the show. People had a great time. And I realized, wow, with entertainment, you can actually get away with something. And in that case, it was doing a show, and you had no idea what you were doing. And somehow we got away with it.
Because you got audience reaction. You got them to
The
react
audience-
the way you wanted to react. And
Well, at one point, like taking risk, right? Like when you take a risk and you don't know how it's going to pan out, and it pans out well. That was really exciting.
it's a confidence builder.
Oh, huge confidence. Well, in that moment, there was a moment where I took off my wig, playing one other character and jumping into another character, and I threw the wig into the wings. I didn't realize it hit Mr. Rivet in the face. And he was honestly angry, and he balled up the wig, and he threw it right back and hit me in the face in front of the audience. And the audience thought it was like all part of the gag. And I, realized that he's really angry. I continued delivering the line, and I gently tossed it to the side, and the audience thought it was one big bit. And it wasn't a big bit. It was us seriously trying to hang on for dear life, but because we were brave enough to try something, we succeeded.
Yeah, you were just a little bit of ad lib, and you got some good reaction. So that was during school. So what after school did you go into?
Well, let me ask you,
Yeah.
what was your big comedy influence growing up?
My big comedy influence growing up.
Yeah,
Um.
who did you like?
Oh man. Oh, I like people like Robin Williams and stuff like that. Was that kind of style of
Jonathan
comedy.
Winters.
Yes, Jonathan Winters.
Yeah.
I still watch some of the clips of Johnny Carson when people like Winters was on, and all kinds of other people. Don Rickles.
Yeah,
all those kind of people. And yes, this is
Mr. Nice.
Mr. Knight. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of small bits, but they certainly could make you laugh.
Yeah, well, the reason why I ask is for me, for many people before me, because I was born in '76, for many people it was SNL, the original cast.
Yeah, and SNL when I was in high school was popular.
Yeah.
SNL, Gilda Radner, stuff like that. John
Yeah.
Belushi.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase, all
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lorraine Newman and Garrett Morrison. For me, there was a local improv comedy theater called SAC Comedy Lab, and they had opened up in '91. I started as a freshman in high school in '91, and it wasn't until '93 I discovered them, and by then it was like a revelation. That was all during that whole time with grunge music, right? So
Yes.
the musical revolution's happening. And so was it in college radio. And a lot of college students discovered SAC. And then, of course, they're not too far away from high school. So eventually he drugged some of us from high school to that theater. And what I saw was the first time when I was able to say, oh, so that's what I've been doing. I've been doing that. That's called improv. And, oh, okay, I've done a game like that before. I've done these bits before, but I didn't know
what they were.
Yeah, I had no idea what it was called, and then started seeing my comedy heroes there, and that included Wayne Brady from Who's Line.
Now, was he there when you were there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He was, though he didn't stay too long because he had the stars for the Hollywood Hills and going out there, but it was really great though because the talent, the musical talent that everyone had too. It was just everything.
So how long did you? So you went through this? You went through SAC? You went through the program, classes, and stuff like that?
By the time I got to become a senior in high school, I had done a lot of volunteer hours and was lucky to get a little scholarship to take the classes. And so in my senior year, took improv classes with SAC. And by
Now, see,
By 96, I was already performing.
and while early on you weren't a great student, you were an okay student,
Yeah.
you had no idea this was around the corner.
Yeah, no idea it was around the corner, and I want to correct you. I was a horrible student.
You're a horrible student. Well,
Horrific student.
I hated school. I got through it. I hated it. I don't know why I hated it. I think I hated it because I thought there was a lot of other things I wanted to do other than go to school. And
Well, I think there's a lot of people out there that they don't like the rigidity of it.
Yeah.
And when you can be calling your own shots.
yeah,
And there's a lot of people
yeah.
like you that I know that did that. They
I've
moved
been
beyond.
self-employed most of my life.
Yeah.
And that's because I kind of always wanted to set my own destination.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is no different. This is just when you find something you like and you find something that's you put some drive behind it. You just it's a goal and something you want to conquer. And I'm sure that was the same thing with you. Once you got into the comedy stuff, you didn't want to stop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Although there was a time in my early career, I didn't have enough confidence. So I was always in the 1 foot in at SAC and then the foot out in the other ways I would spend my time making money, with, everything, whether it was roofing
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
or working retail or working restaurant. And then it wasn't until I got to late 20s or probably age 30 when I made the switch and said, hey, you know what? I really want to do this full time. And then that's when suddenly the mindset kicked in and you tried a little harder, and then reality started pushing. And that's when I started working full time at Disney.
What did you do at Disney?
So I did I did several jobs at Disney, but mainly as what they call an equity actor, where you're a performer and it's covered under the equity contract, that theater, that space. And there were different roles along the way, but my major roles, one as a sub at the Comedy Warehouse, which was their improv theater.
Okay.
Back when it used to be called Pleasure Island. And then after that, I spent the majority of my time performing at the Spirit of Aloha dinner show at the Polynesian Resort, where I played Howie and a comic character in the Luau show.
In a dinner show.
Yeah. Yeah. So would perform for over 1,000 people a night, five nights a week.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. Like the Sharon holds 1,000 people, and you look around and that's a lot of people, and you do that 5 nights a week.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really great though, but it was a blessing because it was a great combination of being around, a show where people really, revered their culture, the Polynesian culture. And you saw it every day when the performers showed up. And then also the cast and crew falling in love with that. Then at the same time, true athletes, really athletic. I got paid to be the fat, funny guy. But even then, after being on the stage, running around in 100 degrees, some heat and whatnot, even I started losing weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Start becoming a shape. So, what is, of all the things that you've done, what's the most favorite role you've ever had?
Oh man, because I've done a lot of other things like independent film, and I think my favorite thing, still to this very day, is one of my early improv shows. It was the show where I think I really kind of stepped out in front of everyone and made a big, bold choice. And then people in the cast were like, oh, we got to pay attention to this guy. And so it was a little show that we called The Varicose Vein. It was
Very catchy, yeah.
It was a soap opera.
Okay.
And in the town of Varicose, all sorts of, lurid relationships were happening, but also big sagas. And my story, I was a school superintendent named Jamil Zadil. I don't even know why the name was funny. But by day, he's a school superintendent. But night, he is an island-born demon hunter. And I also played the demon.
Oh, okay, so you had to do both parts.
Yes, I had to do both parts. The demon, his name was Pookie. And we had a well on stage, so I could stick my hand up, and I would hold this doll that looked like a big Tootsie Roll with big, bulgy yellow eyes. And then I'd be on the microphone and speak, I am the insufferable God Pookie. Where is my pudding? You know, so and so Pookie would at some point take questions from the audience, which was my favorite part of the whole thing, is that we would stop the soap opera for a moment where Pookie would take questions from the audience, and that was a lot of fun.
I think the varicose vein, that could fly up here because that's, there's probably a few varicose veins around here. All right, so we had somebody send in a question here. If the Piggly Wiggly announces a surprise talent show, which act would the produce department bring to win?
Ooh.
I'm not sure. I've never been in a Piggly Wiggly. I know there's some run. Do they have a produce department?
Yes, they do.
They do. Okay.
They do have a produce department.
Right.
If it's not a good Piggly Wiggly if they don't have a produce department. It depends what time of year. If it's going to be during Thanksgiving, it's going to be its cornucopia party.
There you go.
Yeah. But this is a very sultry kind of Piggly Wiggly. So I would do something with an eggplant.
Something with an eggplant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Whoever asked that question, you're a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of things you could do with an eggplant. You could cook it and put Italian sauce over it, right? That's one of the things.
That's what came to mind.
That's
the first thought. That's the only thought I had.
So, what is the worst
offense to comedy? What we just did.
No, there you go. Yeah. What was the worst role that you ever ended up with that you that you thought might have been good but turned out to be really bad? What would that have been?
Oh, that's such a great question. That's that's a brilliant.
It may not have even happened yet in your life. That's
it's
a possibility. Oh, you think it did?
It did. There was a play. This playwright, this local playwright had wrote a play called Bones, and it was about a series of relationships that happened around in animal cemetery.
Okay.
And so, part of the research, we had to actually go to a animal cemetery and go to the crematorium and learn about things. And my character, first of all, I'm Guyanese, but a lot of times in entertainment, they want you to play Indian, like East Indian, because a lot of people look at my features and go, "Oh, okay, you look East Indian.
You look like Mr. Patel."
Yeah, I look like a Patel. Well, yeah, I mean, look, my characters have been named Sanjay and Mahmood, so it stands to reason. Yeah. I got to be a Patel someday, and a Singh and Mohendra at some point. But the role was that of the director of an animal crematorium, and the director kept telling me that I really had to play it with a very, very funny, very fast South Indian accent, and he kept correcting me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try, and I knew even then I was going more Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite right, and I realized, okay, not quite right, but I'm doing my best, and then the reviews came out, and the entire show was panned. It was like, waiting for Godot had a reason to wait for something. Had the audience had a reason to wait for the audience to wait for the show. This show had none of those qualities. There was no reason to wait for the show. You should just skip the show. So, that was one show. And I took it seriously. I thought, I was like, oh, this is exciting. And so for me, in my inner life, it felt good. But then the reality of feedback came in. But you know what? I love that, because something that a good friend of mine says all the time, that the tragedy of today becomes the joke of tomorrow.
Yeah.
It means you got over it.
Well, here's the thing.
It's really good to get over things.
Yeah, because 2 weeks after that, who's the only one that remembers it was bad? You. It's like somebody singing karaoke, and people going, that wasn't so good,
No.
or the singer thinking that wasn't so great. Even 5 minutes later, it's over.
Yeah.
We've moved on.
And yet so many of us hold on to it.
Yeah, well, the singer or the actor themselves, I think, are the ones that hold on to it.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like it seems like everyone always has to have a trophy, even if the trophy was just this horrible thing. They want to hold on to it for some reason.
Yeah, there's plenty of reasons to move on, and that's that is one of the things as humans, though, that we do. We hold on to stuff that life would be a lot simpler if you just let go of a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and it's much easier to say than do.
Right.
There's no doubt.
Right.
So that was your worst. So back to I said we were going to get into this. This sketch comedy is written.
Yes.
And improv is more. I'm going to find out a little bit about. I'm going to give you a little guideline, and then you're basically writing in your mind a short skit in
the moment. With
in the moment.
Yeah, and it could be with one other person or a group of people. And right now we're improvising as we speak. So you and I are doing improv. We really are doing improv.
Okay. Yep.
And what the audience needs, they just need to know the context. And now that they see this is a podcast, everything is clear, and then they'll be open to anything that we say.
So
with improv, if the audience doesn't know what the context of what they're looking at is, like, oh, is the scene taking place at a bedroom? Is it taking place at an executive board, a C-suite? Where is it taking place? As long as they have an idea they know where it's taking place, they'll go with you.
See, they could have been looking at that and said, "So this is the Music and Madness podcast, and he's got Mr. Patel who's sleeping there tonight," and that they could have.
I've been working very hard indeed. I'm sorry.
So
Patel drives trucks.
Do you have a legitimate driver's license, or did you get one of those illegal ones?
Me, well, let's just say that whatever I have, I still have it today.
You still have it today.
Yes, and I can get you from here to there.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's it.
That's all that matters to me.
So beyond this, now you do some corporate stuff.
Yes.
Tell us a little. When did you get started in doing corporate work, and what do you do?
Well, I'll back up a little bit. With improv, obviously people love improv because it gives you access to creativity.
Yeah.
And also allows people to tap into their leadership. You know, that everyone is a leader at some moment of the improv. And those skills seem to be so attractive to companies and business owners that they're like, wow, how can we get some of that magic back in our spaces? And so over the years, companies would come to groups that I've been a part of and would hire them out to, hey, could you just teach us a couple of these improv games? And then let's all reflect and ask ourselves, what are the lessons we can pull from this? And then take those lessons and hopefully drive better behavior at work.
Well, if you can get people out of their comfort zone a bit, just way back to like when you started, you realize that, hey, and speaking and making people laugh a little bit, I kind of get rewarded. There's so much of that in the work environment that I think people go to work and they think that they should just be silent and do their job and that kind of stuff. But communication is so important in everything that we do.
Yeah.
That's what brings out great ideas. That's what brings out creativity. That's how people work together.
The communication, collaboration.
Exactly. Let's see this is the same person who asked that question. We'll find out what their follow-up is. Okay, what's the strangest thing someone has ever asked you for in the dairy aisle? Now, this is assuming that you worked at Piggly Wiggly.
Yes. It was. They asked for a second chance.
A second chance.
Yes.
There you have it. A second chance.
And I gave it to them with a BOGO.
Well, buy one get there. Now I get it. Yes, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy one, get one.
Yeah. They certainly did.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, I'll ask you, like, when did you discover that you wanted to be, a host and a host of a podcast, and to be a personality that helps people learn about what's interesting around the villages?
Well, it was kind of a whim. Like I said, it just kind of came up with a podcast. Because I built this space for. I built this space for myself to be able to bring a band in here and et cetera. Well, and Tom, my friend, the producer.
Yes, I do.
Tom helped set this stuff up and decided that let's do a podcast. We've changed the format a little bit because when you grow, you just keep moving forward and making adjustments and tweaks. Here's the thing about what made me want to continue to do this and to go in the direction we're going is because we're finding that a lot of people, this is a two-way street. A lot of the groups that we're bringing in here and a lot of the guests we're bringing in here are finding their way to let the villagers get to know them on more of a personal level. And what's happening on the other side is the villagers are getting this other little flavor of entertainment that they didn't get before. And now we're kind of seeing all kinds of great things that could come from this as we expand it. We've got some really big plans to expand this as we go forward.
Yeah.
To do a lot of different things. And the age group, the demographics that's here, I'm part of the demographics. I fit this demographics. And entertainment for our demographics is not the same as it is for younger folks and whatever. And I just think there's a great synergy to kind of put these two things together to give this demographic something that they like and something that they can continue to get that they're not able to get, if that makes any sense.
It actually does quite a bit. In fact, that's what my current project is. The one that I'm most excited to talk about is work with our mutual friend Tom Casey and the work of the Break Room Players. It's a sketch comedy group that also does improv, but the focus is to bring live entertainment. Yeah, not just to various places of Central Florida, but we really want to bring a pronounced presence to the villages and offering that comedy. And me, I'm 50, turning in 50 in June, and so I'm actually been thinking and contemplating lately. I can see myself moving to the villages in the next year or two, just for a slower pace for me, but also I see the opportunity that's happening here, and it's really exciting.
The entertainment opportunity in the villages is just so big. Like I said, there's 170,000 people today. I couldn't guess to where that number is going to go, but I know they have. I heard enough land to double the place. And again, this demographic is that's baby boomers. It's a lot of things. There's older people yet. My parents live here. They're 86 and 88. They still love to go out and see some entertainment stuff, but they don't go weather the squares and that kind of stuff very often because that is a little bit younger crowd. It's a little the music and that kind of stuff isn't always their flavor, but they still love entertainment. We were at the theater last night, and there's 140,000 people just like that here in the villages. Average age is still, I think, 73.6 years old here in the villages. And, they're great people. And entertainment, I don't know what we would do without entertainment. I mean, life would be pretty boring without entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, in that entertainment, it's it feels like to me it's like all coming from the same laboratory. Yeah. And we're just experimenting to see what combination works today. And, okay, we're not going to change too much with this. We're just going to add one little element and see where it takes us. and now suddenly we've got, the advent of rock and roll, and then we've got the progression of it, and now the concerts are a big thing. And if there's anything that has remained an economic driver and has remained a constant um, platform for artists, is the live event.
Yes.
In fact, because of technology, artists like Taylor Swift and other major artists, they have to make their money by tours.
Yes.
They have to, because now everything they put out is so easily accessed that you can't monetize that very well anymore. But to exclusively have an experience with them at a theater or at a stage, that still remains to be the biggest way for artists to interact with their audiences. The live event is not going anywhere. In fact, it's becoming more precious, I think.
Yeah, and one of the things that we're going to be growing into, we'll be making some major announcements here as we get into next year. It's not just the live entertainment aspect of it. We realize that people don't all go out, can't all get out, and so we're going to have a lot of that live entertainment available to be streamed.
Yes.
To watch it live, just like a live show, just like we're doing a live podcast, to be doing it seeing it in real time. Then, of course, we'll be able to see it later on.
Well, right now, recently, a streaming service called Dropout TV. They do improv comedy and different comedy sketches as a streaming service. They were College Humor, which came out like in the early 2010s. And Sam Reich, who's the founder, recently was just like featured on Forbes, and having created a really powerful case study of a company that started out in early streaming, then it waned, and then gave it the rebirth, and now it's like gangbusters and really is industry edge leading in terms of, for $5.99 a month, you can get as unlimited comedy that we offer, both seasons and specials, and now for an additional $1 you can get exclusive content, new written content, and live specials, but it's all done with a simple app,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to see what the Villages would do if they had something like that. If people had access to an app that would just give them,
especially content and shows and that kind of stuff that's being produced here, produced for this demographic, produced for this audience, stuff that they would like and stuff they can stay connected to. But yet, you know what? If you're not feeling up to going to the show, you don't have to.
right.
It's on that 85-inch TV with that great sound bar. And again, as people get older, there's a lot of reasons they don't get out as much as they used to. But again, they still love entertainment, and it's a great connection.
Well, my sister Debbie would love to go to the NPR Tiny Desk concert series. She would love to be there and to be a live audience member and to be there. But it's so easy to just access it.
Yep.
From whether it's YouTube or NPR itself, and she's happy to the most relevant, newest artist or an artist that we've seen before coming back can be featured in her living room.
I got to mention one more thing. Our next Monday night's guest is Carlene Mitchell. And Carlene Mitchell is coming to the Millhouse Theater. I want to get the correct date. She is an impersonator. I think Diana Ross is who she's going to be doing. I want to take and make sure I get that information correct. Tina Turner. Okay, well, it was close. What's the date, Tom? The Villages Entertainment website. She's going to be at the Millhouse Theater. The show's being put on by Villagers for Veterans. And I saw her last night in the lobby at the theater. Man, she can sing. She's gonna. I think she's gonna have her full band with her that night, and I just want to make sure we get the date correct. Are you looking, Tom? Yeah. All right. So, well, yeah. When Tom's looking for that, so we are going to do another show on the 30th of January at the Millhouse Theater. We got this
very exciting
rock and roll band coming in. Too Hot for Leather. They're awesome. They're going to be really good. They're a Nashville rock and roll band that's touring, and then you guys are going to open up the Break Room Players.
Yeah,
and sketch, improv, a little of both.
A little bit of both, but we're going to be very interactive with the audience, getting them involved. I think it's part of the fun is that when the audience members, they become the stars of the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, if you can do that,
yep,
everyone loves it.
Well, you guys, we did a little show in our studio the other night so we could get some film clips and that stuff, and I know Tom's going to have some of that stuff ready. It was freaking hilarious. I mean, it's I love that. Of course, like Wayne Brady, I'm a big fan. I love that style of stuff that you guys did here.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It is December 21st, and it's the Queen Carlene Mitchell's Queen Divas tribute. It's a tribute to Diana Ross and Natalie Cole. And it's a Christmas edition. She's extremely talented, man. She plays the part well. She's going to be on here next Monday night. I think we're going to get her to perform a little bit for us.
So she does Tina Turner.
She does 8 people.
Diana Ross and Natalie Cole?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she does. She said she does 8 different 8 impersonations, and
wow.
So her nickname is Sybil. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, she was really good at the lobby of the theater, and we look forward to seeing her next Monday night. So, see, an hour goes by really fast.
Yeah,
we've burned up an hour. I know you slept the first 20 minutes, but actually, it's
okay. I just want to know how long did it go on before you realized, is that man sleeping?
Well, we were thinking about calling 911 to just make sure. We thought that could be a good
out
gag,
of here now. out now, Tom.
It was.
You may leave.
It was probably the first time. I don't know if it'll be the last time, but it was a thing, and I don't think we're ever gonna forget it.
It's I hate to say that it's not a constant problem in my life, but it's a constant problem in my life.
Well, if you move up here to the Villages, you can get.
I'll be amongst good company.
You'll be amongst the company. Well, the thing of it is everything ends at 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So if you're to sleep by 10, this is perfect.
Oh,
so.
and not that I can hear Tom Casey, but I'm sure he's laughing right now.
He was. I can hear him. So, Richard, great having you on. We've burned up an hour. Look forward to working with you guys again January 30th.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be seeing some more. And like I said, we've got a lot of big plans that we're going to be unveiling in 2026, and I know you're going to be part of some of that stuff. So,
well, my most important mission is to get these words out to the Villages, the Break Room Players. We want to entertain you, the Villages.
Sounds good. All right, you heard it here. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. That's a wrap.
Is that him? Oh, Tom. That's so cruel. That's so cruel.
So,
wait a minute. Is that me? Is that what I'm hearing? Was that a recording of me?
So
that's all. That's all, folks. Good night.
Oh, jeez.